Okay, so I got these. I saw these online before I came to Japan. Got them from the local family mart. I'm pretty sure Korea has similar things, but let's give them a go. I haven't had a fruit sandwich before, but I'm pretty sure I've had this before. So, let's go. Alright, don't mind the hair, I'm getting ready to leave. Maybe we'll start with the egg sandwich one, because egg, bacon, no, lettuce, egg, ham, cucumber. Alright. I don't mind the cucumber. I think it'd be fine without it, but I think it's okay with it as well. It's not bad. It's 258 yen for two slices. It's interesting that they cut off the ends of the bread, or I don't know if they just make the bread like this way, and it's not just toast. I don't know. Got some Yakult, or in Korean Yagurut. To wash it down. I didn't, in Korea, all I could find were really cheap, like 20 packs, which I would love, but because I'm moving around so much, I don't know if I'd be able to drink it all by the time I get to the next place. Luckily, I found a little 6-pack in one of the Japanese convenience stores. Let's try the fruit one. One of the things that I do like about Japan, and again, maybe Korea has this as well, I don't know, they sell these like mini little Coca-Cola cans. I don't know if it was like 100 milliliters. It's quite cool. And they're real cheap, so it's just like if you want a quick hit of Coca-Cola, it's pretty good. Alright, so what has this got? Strawberry, tangerine, pineapple, whipped cream. Smells a little bit. Yeah, this one's not like... I don't think I'd buy this again. Not that it doesn't taste good, it tastes okay. It's just not my style of food. I don't really like cream, even in cakes and stuff. I don't really like it. And then the fruit in a sandwich is a little bit weird for me. But to each their own. It can be a real hit and miss when you try something new. Like, more often I end up not liking things that I try new, but unless it's in a similar kind of lane as something that I do know that I like. This will hopefully fuel me for the morning. That's it. One last thing before I check out of this Airbnb. The roof is very low. Like, but yeah. I heard some good reviews about this energy jelly drink, so I wanted to try it. It was good. It didn't blow me away, but I can certainly see why people would like it. Kind of looks like clear toothpaste.
This train will stop at all stations before...
This is me on the bullet train from Tokyo to Osaka, and I did some research before catching this train, and what it said was if you sit on the right side of the train from Tokyo to Osaka, you may be able to see Mount Fuji. Unfortunately, I booked on the left side just because I think I had it a little bit muddled up. This is me walking around just because I had some time before my next check-in time for my Airbnb. And one of the things that I wanted to do in Japan was go to a pet cafe, which I'd heard a lot about. Saw one nearby, had the time, so decided to go in. It was almost like a pet shop, which was cool because I hadn't been in a pet store in so long. Made it to a little pet cafe. Look at them all chasing me. This is what they really want. After that, I still had some time to kill, so got to about lunchtime, and one of the things that I definitely wanted to try in Japan was conveyor belt sushi. They have this in Auckland, New Zealand as well, but I wanted my experience to be from Japan. You can see this one has wasabi on the top, and it hits me in about 3, 2, 1. I can start to feel it around my nose here. You can see my eyes a little bit watery. It just caught me by surprise, really. One thing I did realize is I think at some of these places you can actually choose whether or not they come with wasabi or not. And I'm not particularly a fan of wasabi, so if I had the option to not go with it, I would go without it, generally. Once you're finished, you can put the black bowls back on the conveyor belt, but you keep the plates, which I didn't know at the beginning. I just put both of them on, and then one of the staff members told me to hold on to the plates. And after making another order, you can see here my dishes come through with the number underneath that matches the number I was assigned based on my seat. This one hit me with a little something, so I had to double check, and it did have wasabi underneath the fish. Overall, I really enjoyed the experience. I don't really get sushi that often, but you know, when in Japan, and the price was like very reasonable. All right, I've arrived at my second Airbnb in Japan, first Airbnb in Osaka. Not much else to it. Let's get into the tour. Got the entrance. The toilet. Shower. Bed. TV. Little table. Little mini fridge. Small, but it'll do. I'll be here for the next 3 nights or 3 days, one of the two. See you in the next one. Another thing I realized while in Japan is it's so packed. And it's not just packed with locals, it's full of tourists. And I know that might be rich coming from someone who was there as a tourist. I guess I can't really expect much else when I go to tourist attractions. It might also have something to do with the fact the exchange rate was so good, but it was just a lot. And I don't know if it would have been like that 10 or 20 years ago. Then it came time to dinner. There weren't really any places, any restaurants that I had set my eyes on before I got to Japan. I think most of the places you go to, if they're open, they're probably okay. That's what I kind of found from my experience. But that's also coming from someone who didn't really have the patience to wait in line for the restaurants that did have lines. Big day here, Universal Studio Japan Day for me. I ended up arriving about an hour early just based on some of the tips I had heard online, that if you get there early enough before the timed entry starts for example, Super Nintendo World, then you can get in without needing to get an area timed booking, timed entry.
The main attractions.
And you can see it here kind of where people are pacing towards the top attractions.
There you go.
Made it.
No timed entry as well. Sick. Oh, this must be it, yeah.
I thought everything here was super aesthetic, very well done, and just a cool experience.
It's a massive maze, even just getting to the ride, and I guess that's an indication of how long the lines can be. Oh, I feel like it's actually warmer in this room as well. This is where you get your hat. So this is the little hat thing. Kind of folds in. Alright, Harry, where are you? Please respect the spell limits. I hope this is in the line for anything. Oh my goodness. Oh, my knee. Oh no, it is. The line is crazy. You get past here and you turn and there's still a line, and that's just to get to the gate. Minute wait time. Hogwarts has been accepting too many students.
Now, if you're like me wondering if the rides at Universal Studio have places to put your backpack, they do, but I would recommend checking the sizes beforehand just in case. They also have places where you can put your umbrella, so that was nice.
Fortunately, due to the bad weather, they've closed this one down. They said it might reopen when the rain dies down a little bit. I'll have to wait and see. I think it's going to take a while though, so they recommended going to a different ride.
Now, it was just my luck that on my trip it was essentially good weather the whole time, except the one day that I really needed it to be good weather was this day, and it was raining. I don't know if that helped with the line in the morning. I imagine less people showed up or would have come later because of the weather though, so I don't know. Fortunately, I did take a disposable raincoat, rain jacket, and I bought an umbrella from the convenience store in the morning of.
The worst. It's raining, so a bunch of the rides are closed, and the first ones I ran to were Super Nintendo World and the Harry Potter one, the main one. There's a second one which is outside, it's a roller coaster, and now I can't ride that, so I feel like on a rainy day maybe, or if it's potentially rain, maybe it'd be a different order to what everyone suggests online, because those ones are indoors and you could wait and still ride those. Yeah, hot tip. Originally I was only going to go on the thrill seeker rides, but due to the rain, this was basically the only thing that was open that looked interesting. It was also quite a long wait because of, I think, the situation. Probably not worth it in my opinion, but really limited options at the time. This was the flying dinosaur ride, which I was just about to get in line for. One thing that they did say is to take off your glasses if you have them, and I think the reason is because it's not one where you're sitting, the seats kind of tilt forward so you're looking down. I've just gone off this ride. This one is wild. I liked it. Next up was Waterworld. To be honest, I wasn't sure what this was. Originally I thought it was some kind of ride, but it's actually a show. And because it's a show, you can't just enter and leave as you please. It's not open the whole time. They have intervals where you can enter and watch the show. So if you want to watch this, I think check the sign and then just keep it in mind as you're going around the park. Very pleasantly surprised about what it turned out to be though. It's very entertaining. Lots going on, lots of shock factors, and I think it was about 15-20 minutes. I didn't time it, but kind of felt like that. Hollywood Dream. This was probably the last roller coaster that I went on before leaving. This was a great ride, but I swear I think I waited in line for like 2 hours. It's taking so long to get onto this ride. I ended up staying the majority of the day, and by the time I was about to leave, it started getting dark, and you can see here at nighttime it gives a whole different vibe where it's kind of dark out with the lights on. Very cool. Universal Studios Japan was probably one of the highlights of my trip, and I really enjoyed it. So after Universal Studios, this was a much calmer day, visiting parks, castles, things of that nature. So many lines for everything. Got trauma from Universal Studios. I've read it's not worth it to go inside here, so skipping it. You might be wondering how I found all these places to go to. I really just used Google, YouTube, and maybe a bit of TikTok. Just saw an old lady spin this wheel, so I did a quick translation. Interesting stuff. What a bridge. Oh, this is weird. It's got steps. It's got like a ridge to them. This is so cool. So this park here was not actually on my agenda, but I saw it was nearby, had some time, so I checked it out. So I accidentally stumbled upon this, which was a sumo wrestling arena, and I thought it'd be quite cool to watch, but fortunately for me it was sold out because the tickets were quite expensive. It's a little mukbang slash ASMR slash snack for me. One of the last things for the day was to check out the Umeda Sky Building, and I got there at quite a nice time because it was just about to get to sunset, so I'd be able to see it kind of during the daytime and as it was kind of transitioning. Some of the windows they cover up, and you can see here there's a bit of a pattern which at the top is more prevalent, and I think that's to promote people actually buying the rooftop pass. You can see from here the people at the top level. It's a little bit jealous, but I don't know if it would have been worth it for me. Then grab dinner to kind of end the night.